Hello my friends, welcome back. Today I am going to flip through the first of another 3 traveler's notebooks that I finished. These are all from 2025. I kind of had this vague goal to document more in traveler's notebooks, but I wasn't going to commit to one a month. I think because I didn't put that pressure on myself, that's exactly what I've done. So I am working on notebooks 5 and 6 at the minute, but I'm gonna just flip through the first 3 months of 2025, and this is the first notebook. I did make them kind of cohesive looking. The last time I did a series of 12 notebooks, I had like kind of a rainbow of pattern paper covers. I made all of the 12 notebooks at the start of the year. This time, because I hadn't committed to 12 notebooks, I just made a basic kind of design that I'm going to replicate each month. So you can see here the first 3. It's a craft covered notebook with a little numbered tag, and I have made the tags in a rainbow order. Couldn't help myself. So this is a notebook number 1. These photos aren't all from January specifically. It's just I worked on these notebooks in order. Some of the photos are older, some of them are newer. Do you know what I mean? Like this is not a chronological like documenting of my year. It's just a fun place for me to do some documenting, given that I'm not doing any kind of project life or pocket page project this year. So this is really the only place that I have been documenting. So my first page here was a Rosie Studios collection, the name of which has gone totally out of my head, but I do post all of my Rosie Studios projects over on my Instagram. If I haven't done any sort of process video for them with my patrons or here, all of these projects are over on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me there, that might be a good place to keep up a little bit more. This was one of my favorite collections, though. It was so pretty. It had lots of, I guess it was kind of like focused on, well, the way I took it anyway, was like focused on documenting myself. And so that's exactly what I did. There were so many elements in here that I felt was super suited to me, like coffee and crafts and books and journaling and all of that sort of thing. And I just really, really enjoyed the colors, and having that kind of excuse to really dig into the everyday moments to document. So this was a fun, just little grid photo of just one particular day of all sorts of cozy, fun things that I was doing in my studio, and the colors turned out perfectly for this collection as well. This was a page I did with my patrons, different kind of mood board challenge, I guess. I had a found mood board, so I found a mood board that I quite liked on Pinterest, and I used that. Generally, when I do a mood board challenge, I am creating the mood board myself, which may be kind of like a bit of a cheat, I guess, if I'm already picking things that I like. So this time I just picked a mood board that somebody else had created. Obviously it was not necessarily crafting related. It was just a kind of color, fashion, lifestyle sort of mood board, and I turned that into a notebook page. I actually created a kit based off that mood board first, and then used the kit to create the page. This is one of my notebooks that has pocket pages in it, and so I did create this little neutral, very neutral kind of page here, again with another kit, a stash kit that I had put together, and it was a very neutral stash kit, and so I used that to make this little inserted page here with my spoiled happy cats, as Shane had made them a new climbing castle. It did not last them long, because to be honest, 2 5+ kilo cats playing on a little cat castle there. They do a lot of damage. So we've actually already replaced this castle with something a little bit more sturdy. So I guess I'm due to do another page. Might even be fun to kind of scrap lift this page to do that. This was another stash kit. So at the start of the year, I put together a bunch of stash kits. When I say a bunch, I think 3 or 4. And they were totally geared towards traveler's notebooks. Like I mentioned, I'm not doing a Project Life this year. So I didn't need all of my other stash kits, which were generally full of, 4x6 and 3x4 cards. So I made some new stash kits that were just geared towards traveler's notebooks, so more pattern paper and embellishments. And this was one of these ones. This was actually way back when I filmed the videos for you of my traveler's notebook flip throughs last time. This was a page that I did with my patrons during our live stream, and my new old cup. I bought this mug a long time ago and it's been too good to use, but this year I decided, who am I saving that for? So I grabbed that off the shelf and had a new old cup. I did a lot of kind of stamping. Actually, this was another one of those traveler's notebook kits, a very pink and yellow themed one, and just did this really really simple patchwork kind of page, but I had a lot of fun with the different colors and different styles of stamping. Another Rosie Studios page here. One of my big hacks for kind of getting these, let's call them monthly notebooks done, is having a full page photo, just because it means there's so much kind of less, and I use the term loosely, work to do on the spread. And I do love having a larger photo in these kind of smaller notebooks. It just takes up a bit more visual space. It's just a really easy way to get a notebook spread done quickly. This one was another really simple page, a gorgeous cup of coffee, and then all of these fun bits and pieces from the collection. Here is another pocket page here, and I've done a bit of fusing to create these 3 little sequin pockets. And then I had one sort of, it's roughly 3x8 pocket to put my journaling in, which I just typed on my typewriter onto a piece of vellum about some of my new journal supplies. One of the other, I guess, it's still documenting, I guess, projects that I've been doing this year is some daily journal documenting, and that is definitely my new love. Plus I get to buy all sorts of fun bits and pieces to go in it. So that was a fun page. Bit of repeat stamping with some of the new stamps from Everyday Explorers Company, which arrived. It did take a very long time for them to arrive to New Zealand. So they weren't there at the start of the year. So when they arrived, I definitely made use of them. This was just a little page that I kind of did just randomly one afternoon. I really like these kind of grid layouts, and sometimes I'm a little bit more purposeful about them than others, but this time I just I had a black and white photo, and I think the reason it came about is I was supposed to use the photo in something else and I never ended up doing that. So I figured instead of wasting the photo, I would make a traveler's notebook page, and it meant that I could kind of pick out a specific colorway from a pack of Citrus Twist die cuts. So I've got all black and white ones and teal ones, and I just add a little bit of kind of yellow, orange and gold in there, and then I embellished that with a few stickers from a crepe paper sticker book. So I I don't know if you can tell, I die cut the title, so these aren't alphas. I die cut the title out of one piece of pattern paper, which did take me a little bit of time, but at least I can do that with the size 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. So that was a fun way to make a title. And this, I was using up the very, very last pieces of a Pink Fresh Studio collection that I had. All I had was a 6x8 paper. I had So what have I got on here? I've got like 3 puffy stickers and some chipboard frames, and that's really all I had. I didn't have a whole lot left, so I used all of it. I was not going to put a tiny little scrap back into my stash, so I used all of the embellishments that I had left. I do have a few little papers, but I didn't put them back into my stash. They went into my scrap bin instead. And this was just the back of a notebook paper, I think, from Studio Calico. So it just had that little simple grid that I could type on and stamp a title just to match those colors in there. And that is the end of this notebook. I haven't done the front or the back purely because these notebooks get a little bit chunky. So that was enough of enough layouts for 1 month, and then I moved on to the next one. So I hope you've enjoyed that little chatty flip through. If you've made it all the way to the end, congratulations. I will be back soon with the second notebook out of the 3. Take care, my friends. Bye.